थकान का एक ही उपाय है, एक कप कड़क चाय।
उबलते पानी में थोड़ा सा जिंजर, चाय की पत्ती, चीनी।
कड़क चाय के लिए मैं रिकमेंड करता हूँ ताजे दूध से बना रेनबो इवेपोरेटेड मिल्क। इसका रिच और क्रीमी टेस्ट चाय में जान डाल दे। जैसे ही बढ़िया रंग आए,
गैस बंद कर दीजिए।
रेनबो इवेपोरेटेड मिल्क, चाय का परफेक्ट मैच।
Rainbow Top Gun Season 3.
Hello and welcome to Rainbow Top Gun Season 3. I'm your host, Shane Phillips. And today's story is about a man from a low-profile but hugely successful business family. They're the leading lumber traders and merchants of India. But our Top Gun wanted to venture into newer territories and at a very young age went out on his own.
Presented by Nokia, inspired by Cadillac.
Even today, in India and elsewhere in the world, if you need timber or wood in any form, chances are that you'll be dealing with a Darvesh company or trading associate. Today's Top Gun, Hassan Darvesh, comes from that pedigree of business. He lives with his family in Dubai, has business interests across 4 continents, and ably supported by his 2 sons, runs 22 offices and manufacturing bases. The group turnover of Darvesh business is over $1.2 billion. And this media-shy family has kept a very low profile indeed. Top Guns is the first program they agreed to make an appearance on. Mr. Hassan Darvesh, welcome to Rainbow Top Guns. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, and Ramadan Kareem to you.
Thank you, Shane. Ramadan Kareem to all the viewers, and also thanks very much for wanting me on the show.
Your family keep a very low profile. Maybe you can tell us how the family business started.
Actually, it was started by my grandfather in the year 1909 from India. We were the people basically in the timber business who used to import lumber from Burma, which is now Myanmar. And that is where the family business started off. And during 1909, my grandfather purchased property in Bombay, which is known as Mustafa Bazaar, which is the biggest timber market in Bombay itself. So we are the landowners for this place, and with that grew our timber business. We were the first people who basically imported timber into India.
Well, is the headquarters still in Mumbai today?
Yes, our headquarters are still in Mumbai. The family business is now run by the family, which consists of 4 brothers. The elder brother stays in India. I took after the overseas business of the family.
So what was high school like? Were you a natural businessman, or did you maybe want to be a fireman back then?
Basically, I wanted to go in for being a doctor. But then things did not work out well because I failed. So I was brought back to the family business, which I only knew and was trained by my brother.
So failure was your stepping stone to success?
Yes, I feel that was the stepping stone to my coming into the business.
So into the lumber trade you went?
Yes, then I was brought by my brother and put on the floor to start working on the timber business, which is very tough. I had to stand in the sun and measure the lumber and then load it and take it to the contractors to deliver it to them.
Initially you picked Oman though. It couldn't have been that attractive back in the 1980s.
Yes.
Out of all the cities you could have picked.
Actually, we were exporting a lot of timber into the Middle East. And as Oman basically found oil in 1975, that gave us an opportunity for us to look at Oman for supplying timber. And especially we were lucky to have 2 to 3 big contracts at that time for supplying from lumber from India to Oman to be supplied to His Majesty's Palace through the local contracting company, which was Shahpurji Palanji.
So what products and services do you actually, just so we know, what are you actually selling at that point in Oman?
Basically, at that time, we started off with the lumber business, as I told you. Then we entered into waterproofing business, which is the roofing business. We also then slowly ventured out into manufacturing furniture. And from there, then we diversified into glass processing. And we make glass furniture and supply it to all the houses which are there.
In everything you've done, you must have had so many challenges. What was your darkest moment? When was the moment where you just almost felt like maybe you couldn't make it through this?
There was a time, you see, in 1980 when we entered, the market was booming. After that, we became very aggressive, and I, as being an entrepreneur and wanted to see how best I could expand my business within that short period of time, went and opened up new businesses in Oman itself, which, not having the right people, I would say, and the experience, made me go into deep situation where I had faced a lot of cash flow problems. But the only way that I could stand around was that I knew the business which I wanted to really grow, which was my business, that is the timber and lumber building material business. I stood by it and made it go further and grew it further.
I know Mr. Darvesh since last 30 years. I started working for him in Oman in 1985, and he has taken a risk, the business risk, and today the company has grown many folds.
The vision of the leader is associated with credibility, honesty, work, and proximity. All the persons that work in the company know that they need to do this. And Mr. Darvesh has very clear principles in the company, Darvesh Group. Darvesh Group and Mr. Darvesh have passion for what he do in life.
When and why did you move your headquarters to the United Arab Emirates?
You see, in 1990, things became slow in Oman. We found that the UAE offered us a lot of better opportunities, especially we were looking at diversification into our manufacturing facilities, and we found that Dubai would be the right place to be, where were looking at the infrastructure settlement, which made us really look into coming into Dubai. In 1991, when we came here, we started the same business, what we were doing in Oman, because Dubai was the biggest port, which at that time, Sheikh Rashid Port, where all the goods of our building material used to come. And we took a place called Ras Al Khor, where we started off our timber business. And along with that, we started with our furniture factory and also the glass processing factory in the same area.
So that was your core. Then what other businesses did you start adding on?
Looking for new areas where I think so I could grow my business. I didn't want to actually depend on the family business of timber, which we have been doing. So I started looking out for which are the areas where should I grow. And we started off with plastics manufacturing company in Dubai, supplying basically plastic lamination films to the basically converting industries in Dubai and Oman.
What are all the businesses you have now?
Basically, if you take it to the manufacturing sector, we are into packaging, as I told you. We are into manufacturing of furniture and processing of glass in all the areas wherever we are. We are the oldest waterproofing company from Oman. And now we are into trading of basically chemicals, paper, and tires, which we export a lot from Dubai. And from our offices overseas, especially we have an office in China, which basically takes care of our complete sourcing. And we ship it from there to all our offices wherever we are based out of in Africa.
And what's, out of all the markets you're in, what's the fastest growth market or the most exciting market, do you think?
I think so. The African market seems to be quite promising in the present circumstances, and we hope that this continues for some more time. And being there for such a long time in these markets, we understand the pulse of the people who are there. And business, we generate the way we feel that is better and safe for us. Because Africa offers a lot of opportunities for people to grow.
No matter what the business, Hassan Darvesh is not one to give up easily. More of this extraordinary success story after the break, so stay with us.
Loyalty clearly states that person's integrity, his truthfulness, and that is what counts in our business. Because that is the way I feel that the person should be. If he's a good human being, I'm sure he'll be loyal. And if he is loyal, talent can be really created and cultivated within our group.
Presented by Nokia, inspired by Cadillac.
गपशप के साथ तो एक कप चाय बनती है, मसाला चाय। इलायची, लौंग और दालचीनी, इसको कूट लें। उबलते पानी में डालें, इसके अंदर चाय की पत्ती और चीनी डालिए। बढ़िया मसाला चाय बनाने का मेरा एक छोटा सा राज है। ताजे दूध से बना रेनबो इवेपोरेटेड मिल्क। इसका रिच और क्रीमी टेस्ट चाय में जान डाल दे। ये हुई ना मसालेदार बात। रेनबो इवेपोरेटेड मिल्क, चाय का परफेक्ट मैच।
Rainbow Top Gun Season 3.
Mr. Hassan Darvesh is a very friendly, exuberant, and a very honest person. His sincerity to the relationship and the way he carries it forward whether it is personal or business, is what you have to admire in him.
What does credibility 1909 mean?
1909 was the time when my grandfather started the business and passed it on to my father, and then later on to us, carrying on with the same trust and tradition which we want to carry on with our customers, which were there 100 years ago, and we take it forward accordingly furthermore.
Over a century of success.
Yes.
So what is, in your definition, what is success?
Success, I would feel, is a satisfaction to yourself, to what you have achieved, and what you want to really achieve more.
What is the price of success? When you look at achieving or rising up to the top 1% of your profession, or getting into that top echelon, the pinnacle of your career, there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into that. What was the cost of your success?
The price of success, I think so, is basically a line drawn by yourself as to where you really want to achieve and how do you go about it. But finally, to reach the success level, and you really go out all the way, and it really affects your health.
I think one of the differences between the entrepreneur and the regular person is the entrepreneur says, you know, I'm going to build this business. You're going to have to kill me to stop me.
Very
and in
true.
your case, that almost happened.
Yes, it almost took my life.
So you pushed yourself to the point
I pushed myself to the level that I wanted to achieve success, and the way I wanted to work, I was not able to get it out for my own people. So that made me really go through the stress levels, which really made me feel very, very bad in health. And I had to go through a small heart attack, which was about 8 years ago.
They say only those who risk going too far will know how far they can go. And you pushed yourself all the way into a heart attack.
Yeah, it was.
But at the time, though, was there any fear there? Or
yeah, I had the fear that I'm going to die. And then I couldn't just believe it, that I would be going through this kind of situation, which really made me change myself after the operation to look more at myself and delegate my businesses to down the line of people.
So coming out of that experience, what changes did you make to your lifestyle?
I tried to live a healthy life. I wanted to be less stress-free. And by the grace of Almighty, I was blessed with 2 children who took over the reins from me and started running the business much more better and effectively than I could.
So you decided to take a step back.
And I try to enjoy myself much more now with my friends, with my families.
So it's a life-changing event.
Yes, a life-changing event. I like to live stress-free now, but the passion for business still continues to burn in my heart.
How do you pick leaders when you're picking leaders for your business? What are the top traits you look for when you're hiring?
I feel that they're more than what they have really qualified for. I still look into the people of what their intentions are, what their emotions are there for the company, what is their way of looking at company, what they really want to grow. We have a case in Oman where there was a person, the salesperson who joined with me as a carpenter. Okay, basically, he was promoted into a salesperson, and today he's managing the business completely.
He started as a carpenter. And now he's a general manager.
He's a manager of one of the divisions. He still doesn't know how to read and write, but he's running the division.
I mean, that's a great success story. When you look at the businesses in the early 1900s, for example, businessmen were part of the community. I'm sure your grandfather built schools and hospitals, and you know there was that intimate tie. What kind of CSR activities are you doing now?
We continue with the same tradition of basically trying to look into the best way we can help the people around, the community around. And apart from the way we have looked into, as time has passed by, that religion doesn't play an important part. The need of the person is the need that we really take care of. For example, if you take in my office, we have some people who really wanted to venture on their own. We help them with growing their own businesses by making them do their own business themselves.
You know, through our whole lives, you're told, you know, walk away from a fight, give people the long end of the stick, et cetera, et cetera. But by definition, when we look at leaders, well, the greatest leaders in our history, we find them in the epicenter of conflict. Winston Churchill, George Washington, you know, and so on and so forth. But, you know, and by definition, the leader's abnormal. They're making the herd speed up.
Right.
Now, where does conflict fit into a success story?
See, the conflict basically it comes in a success story if the conflict is for the benefit of the company and the management is not ready to understand that. If that is the reason that the conflict comes in, I think so that's a healthy conflict, which should be taken in the positive way. And that is the reason for one of our successes is that the people are given the freedom to talk, to take the strike, and to move forward the way they would like to see themselves if they would have been in my place. I feel that one has to draw a line as to how much of success he really needs in life and what does success mean to him. Is it success only money? Is it only power? Is it only name? So if success can be defined, then I think so you can draw a line, because money is not the limit to everything.
One of his most important quality that inspires me most is his ability at managing people, to allow each individual the space to grow as a person and align that growth with company's goals. So it helps everyone in the team to push together in one direction.
Always make himself attached with the people. So each and every individual in the group knows him as a person, including all laborers. So that is a great part of him.
Being the head of HR, I have a lot of experience where I have felt that he is supporting his employees beyond expectations, even without any compulsion. He himself, from his account, sometimes gives his employees their support, moral support as well as financial support.
For some businesses, they take talent over loyalty. In fact, they even know that this big, juicy IQ is coming in the business and in a year and a half or 2 years, they'll be gone. Then other businessmen, they say, look, I want loyalty. I want someone who's going to be here, grow with me. What do you choose? Talent over loyalty or loyalty over talent?
I would still say loyalty over talent, because loyalty clearly states that person's integrity, his truthfulness, and that is what counts in our business. Because that is the way I feel that the person should be. If he's a good human being, I'm sure he'll be loyal. And if he is loyal, talent can be really created and cultivated within our group.
He has the gift of choosing the right people and bringing them together around a shared sense of purpose. He is highly effective in manifesting his vision for Darvesh Group because he creates space for achievable goals, initiates action and enlists the participation of the entire team. What I find most inspiring in HSD Sir is his humbleness, kindness and absolutely brilliant vision for the future of Darvesh Group.
Hassan, welcome to Rainbow Top Guns.
Thank you, Shan.
It's a pleasure to have you on. So tell me, did you know you were going to be joining the family business?
Initially, I didn't want to.
You didn't want to?
I didn't want to.
Why not?
I wanted to stand on my own feet.
What was your first plan? Did you want to be a fireman or astronaut?
No. I had a very simple plan. I wanted to be an investment banker.
But did you actually, work at a bank at any point, or?
No, I didn't. I did my education in the US. Okay. I was working in London. And then I realized if I can add value to another company, why not to my own?
So how do you split it up? I understand you live in South Africa.
Yes.
How are the duties split up between the family members?
In 2009, we regrouped ourselves. And as my father mentioned earlier, we formed a professional board. So we have 7 board members. And each of the family board members basically represent a certain region. So I manage the African European business. My father manages the Oman and the Far East. And my brother manages Dubai and the Indian operations. So we've split it that way.
Working in a family business that's over 100 years old, what a rich environment, learning environment that must be. What values have you taken away from the family business and from your father?
I think the 2 things that I learned from my father is honesty and forgiveness. Forgiveness for those, you'll always have mistakes at work in your personal life. And I think that's what I've learned the most. And the second most important thing is honesty. If you're honest, you have nothing to worry about.
What regions of the world are you active in?
We are very active now in Europe and Africa. We are very active in Asia, in India, Hong Kong, China, and we've always been active in the Middle East. So we believe in the Markowitz theory of diversing our portfolio into different assets rather than having them invested in just one.
Do you feel that the purpose of leadership is to create more leaders?
I think so, absolutely. I can't do everything myself. And if I can create in my organization of 2,500 people to think the way my father, my brother, or I think we've achieved our goal.
And so when you look at your next expansion step, what will that look like?
I think we have been quite aggressive since 2009. Our strategy is to double the business by 2016.
That's phenomenally aggressive.
Yes, it is.
So you're very active in CSR.
Yeah, I think we've added another dimension to our CSR. I would call it an ESG check. It's environment, social, and governance check. I think that's what's missing from most of the companies today. I think before we enter into any other company or venture, we look into the environment aspects, we look at the social aspects, and we look at the governance. And I think if you have all three of them in one place, I think you've covered everything.
Where do you get your strength from?
I think about 5 years ago, I think every tragedy in your life teaches you something. I mean, I lost, my 2 kids were taken away from me by my ex-wife, and I think I haven't seen my kids. And I think everything I do now is for my family, for my kids, for my father. And I think that's where you get the strength. I mean, your suffering is actually your strength. And it gives you a different strength altogether, because I think the most dangerous person is one who has nothing to lose.
So failure is the stepping stone to success.
Absolutely, absolutely. The more you fail in life, the better you are, because the more you realize what not to do and how to do it better. And no matter what I try, eventually it's my father's blood, so I will make sure that it continues forever.
I feel that whatever decisions you take at the spur of the moment when you see something and move forward, it always helps you in the future too.
In your personal life and in business?
Yes, both. As soon as you like something and you want it to be happening to you and it comes naturally, that's the best thing to happen.
Trust your gut.
Yes.
Presented by Nokia, inspired by Cadillac.
This is not a phone to just capture beautiful things. This phone captures feelings. It memorizes dream machines and the goosebumps you got when they screamed. To record a jump into the unknown and relive the madness, the dry mouths, the exploding chests. Introducing the large-screen new Nokia Lumia 1520 with a full HD display, full HD video recording and distortion-free sound capture. Don't just record, relive.
When you shoot for the moon, you build your courage, test your passion, and persevere.
Still looking very good.
The all-new 2014 Cadillac CTS, a bold journey.
पुराने गाने, पुराने दोस्त, घर की यादें और इलायची चाय। उबलते पानी में इलायची, चाय की पत्ती और चीनी डालें। कुछ देर गैस पे उबलने दें। इलायची चाय तभी अच्छी बनेगी जब आप यूज करेंगे रेनबो इवेपोरेटेड मिल्क, जो बना है ताजे दूध से। इसका रिच और क्रीमी टेस्ट चाय में जान डाल दे। इतना सिंपल, घर की याद दिला दी। रेनबो इवेपोरेटेड मिल्क, चाय का परफेक्ट मैच।
Rainbow Top Gun Season 3.
So Hassan, tell me, how did you meet your wife?
It was actually an arranged marriage with love at first sight. We were there at our sister's place, and where she also had come with her sisters, and I liked her at the same moment. I just told my father that I would like to get married to this girl.
And so you believe in love at first sight, that you had that?
Yes, I had that, because I feel that whatever decisions you take at the spur of the moment when you see something and move forward, it always helps you in the future too.
In your personal life and in business?
Yes,
trust.
both. Trust, because as soon as you like something and you want it to be happening to you and it comes naturally, that's the best thing to happen.
Trust your gut.
Yes.
We came to Muscat in 1981, and he started his business with his partner, Vijay Kapasi, and he struggled a lot. I supported him in every way. Like, he used to travel a lot, and I used to stay alone in the house. I used to take care of my kids, and he came up a very hard way. He reached his target, and inshallah, in future also, we are praying for his success.
So Hassan, tell us about your kids.
Actually, I have 3 kids, 2 sons and 1 daughter, Hassan and Talib and Nurain. All of them are with me in the business, and both the sons are taking care and shouldering my responsibilities.
How important is having a good family life to your
I believe today, what I see from my children who have grown up and taken the responsibilities from me, family life is important because they value the same tradition what I used to do or we used to do for our families which were elder to us. So they take care, they are very concerned about us, They are concerned about me and my wife. They take care of us. We try to spend as much possible time we can together. And I believe my best friends are my own family members. This is the way I think that they have been brought up with. And we are concerned with their well-being and their future as it comes.
So the family is the bedrock of your success?
Yes, the family stands by me whatever I do and whatever decisions I take.
He is very simple, gives respect to everyone and at the same time helps everyone towards building a fairer society. He is even helping the staff who had been working earlier with the company. It shows he is a great human being.
He's a very good person. He's so kind person. He's so much intelligent, and we are learning so much being associated with him. And he is giving this message that be honest, sincere, the things will come to you directly without any hurdles.
Mr. Darvesh manages employees in such a way that their talents and skills are utilized to bring in maximum productivity in work. He always have a positive frame of mind, develops positive qualities and confidence in his employees, and motivate them to put in their best efforts at work.
Hassan, thank you so much for coming on Rainbow Top Guns. It was really a pleasure learning more about your story.
Shane, it was nice meeting you. Thank you for getting me on the show. Ramadan Kareem. I look forward to seeing you soon. Almighty bless you and your family and keep smiling.
Thank you. Ramadan Kareem to you and your family as well.
Thank you so much.
So there you have it, the story of Hassan Darvesh and his family. What started as a single transaction in Muscat, Oman, has turned into a sprawling international conglomerate. I'm your host, Shane Phillips, saying masalama. On behalf of all the team at Queen Bee Productions, this is Shane Phillips wishing you Ramadan Kareem.
I think there's no harm in diversifying. Diversification is good today. We have done that, and we have found success in certain places. I believe the main area of concern would be the manpower, the people whom you keep, because finally they are the assets who really run the show.
So if you have the right people, diversify.
I'm sure that you can really achieve success.